The Nigerian movie industry, Nollywood, has been globally recognized as the second largest film producer in the world. The industry is significant in art, entertainment, and recreation. It has contributed 2.3% of the GDP of Nigeria. This is State of the Culture brought to you by Izesan. I am Nafisat Abdurrahman. And to discuss this important topic with me today is Chioma Chiatula. Hello, Chioma.
Hi.
Oh, what a beautiful smile. Chioma is a screenwriter, a producer, and a content creator. Even though Nollywood has been globally recognized as the second largest film producer in the whole world, the question is, are we there yet? Before we talk about that, guys, we are back like we never left. And this time around, we're going to be giving you content upon content upon content. Like, you have to beg us, guys, you're killing us. Can you take this content slow? You know, right? This is episode 1 of season 4, State of the Culture, brought to you by Izesan, like I said. Let's run into the topic. Can you give us a brief on the evolution of Nollywood? Like, how did it start? Would you say we have gone far? Where are we?
First of all, second, I know we're second after Hollywood is off. So first of all, yay Nollywood! I think that yes, yay Nollywood! I think we need to celebrate ourselves because we are ahead of Bollywood, right? And Bollywood is such a huge industry too.
Yeah.
But we are not only we are also the fastest producing. We have more content than Bollywood.
Wow.
So yeah,
wait, are you serious?
We produce much more content than Bollywood.
Wow.
We have to verify that though. But I believe that we produce more content.
More,
yes. Okay. Nollywood. I think my first movie was the first movie I watched. My first memory of Nollywood was Neka the Pretty Serpent.
Are you serious?
And I know. I was a child and I watched it like through my eyes like this. And I don't think the memory of that film is imprinted in my mind forever. And comparing that to now, I think we have made huge strides. I'll be remiss to say that we haven't made improvements, right? And are we there yet? I don't think there is a question of are we there. We're already there because we are competing. We are competing with the global market.
Wait, are we? When you say we are competing with the global market, I need you to come up straight because I want to go into the bragging streets. Like, I want to go out there and be like, yay, we are talking about Nollywood.
No,
yeah,
we're already there. Thanks to the streaming platforms. Netflix, shout out to Netflix and Amazon for like supporting us, Showmax, so our content is definitely going global. And because of the internet, the world has become a global village, isn't it? So then you had to get a video cassette to watch. I watched it on the video cassette, right? I know, like, Gen Z be like, what is that?
I'm sure when they see that picture, they can't really relate. They be like, wait, what do you use this for?
It was about one inch thick. 1 inch thick, but I don't know how long it was, but I know it was 1 inch thick. And you had to, rent that or purchase that to watch, right? And to be honest, old Nollywood, I really like that story. I feel like, their stories were so multi-layered and so rich. The execution might not have been the best, but for that time we enjoyed it, we loved it, right? I mean, if those stories weren't good, they won't be being remade right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, are we there yet? I think the honest answer, in my opinion, is that we're not there yet. I would compare it to old Hollywood movies. Now, because I went to film school, I was forced.
She was forced, and now she's enjoying it.
Yes,
guys.
We were forced. We had to watch old Hollywood movies to learn, right? So, like, the evolution of our of Hollywood films was taught to us. So we use the older Hollywood films to learn, right? And maybe a few of the newer ones, but mostly we use the older Hollywood films.
But why is that?
I didn't understand it at first because watching black and white films or old films reminded me of TCM. I don't know if you know TCM channel on DSTV.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't cool to watch TCM. It's just like it's like your parents watching it or whatever, right? But at first I didn't understand why. But then when I got when I got knee deep into filmmaking and I began to appreciate those older films. One, their story was a bit more simplistic than it is right now.
Right now, true.
Yeah, but they were quite easy to follow. And if you're learning how to make a film, if you're learning the basic tenets of a good story, right? Those old Hollywood films, they were the perfect example, right? You have I think is like one of the top 100 films, Citizen Kane is there. I think is number 1.
Wow. So
Citizen Kane was made in the 1940s. I don't know the exact date, but this is a classic. I think it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, I'll go to for a rating. It's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes to show you how perfect the film was, right? And there were other films like Gone with the Wind and all that, right? And those stories, in simplicity, they were also very rich and multi-layered, right?
Talking about rich stories and multi-layered stories, I know you've said, like, the story Nollywood had before were really good stories, and that's why once we watch them as kids, we grow up with them. It's a story we can talk about all the time, and you even find out now people are trying to recreate this story just to keep them alive.
Yeah,
I know we're talking about Nollywood and the evolution and what have you, but we can't talk about Nollywood without talking about culture.
Yes,
we can. So let's do a quick comparison here between the old Nollywood and the new Nollywood.
Yeah.
Which would you say is deeply rooted in culture, and why? Because a lot of people are like, these people just, the stories are no longer real, they're no longer, there's just something about the story. It's not like the old Nollywood we used to know, even though we had people back then who criticized old Nollywood stories, like the whole issue of rituals and what have you.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Okay, so for, I think that's where I would say Bollywood and Hollywood get it right. In displaying their culture, right? If you watch an American film, like for example, watch a Christmas movie, you know their culture of Christmas, right?
True.
Buying gifts and going back to their small town, maybe
Spending Christmas together.
Yes, opening gifts on Christmas Eve and stuff like that. Then having sitting on Santa's lap and telling him what you want, for Christmas. And then the cheesy Hallmark films of the big city girl goes back to her hometown and falls in love with some guy, and sees the true meaning of Christmas. So their culture, in as much as many people might not agree with me, and America has a culture, but America has a culture, and you can see that from their movies. Right? You can see that from their movies.
I don't know. I think I disagree with you.
No, they do have a culture. Yeah, they do have. I know you disagree, but America has a culture. They do have one, right? Obviously, they are more like there's a diverse group of races and other cultures there, but they do have their own, universal culture. Yes.
Okay.
So, I think the old Nollywood, did showcase a bit of our culture. The ritualistic, there might be the negative aspect of our culture, which was at some point, those are the only feels like, there was a time that was just ritual movies. True. Yeah. So it is still part of our culture and society. We cannot avoid it. It's something that, even in Brazil, they have, I've forgotten is it weekend culture, so they are, involved in the juju things too. So it's part of their culture. However, recently, it seems like the some of the films that we watch, especially contemporary ones. I mean, contemporary ones. It's not set. It's not pre-colonial, right? That's we popularly know it as epic.
Epic.
Yeah. So it's not a historical film. Most of the contemporary films are so like they're so detached from our
culture.
reality. Not just our culture and our reality.
Our reality.
Right? So I'm watching a film. I don't even know what city they are in. What
True.
city am I in, right?
True.
Or they want to convince, or if they're trying to convince us that this is Lagos, but I can see some Abuja things
there.
Or most of it is Lagos. I can see that it's Lagos, but they're trying to convince me it's Abuja.
It's Abuja.
But it's not.
Or it's Benin.
Yes. Right? I mean, there are so many other factors that go into that, but I feel that, yes, some people are doing that. Not everyone, right? But there are some people that are trying to infuse our culture. Even the reality of having power go out, right?
True.
Look at me, this if the power just go out.
Yes.
Right? Even just small things like that are not infused in our story, right? I would have to say, as a writer too, I'm also guilty of it. I'm guilty of it.
It's a good thing you're saying it. Actually.
No. I would admit that I was. In fact, in the beginning, I was guilty of it, and having a finished product was so much more important than the quality of the product, right? When I mean quality, that it doesn't mean it's not a good story, right? It's that, do I have this thing? Is it rich? Like how when I watch an American, even just a regular American film that is not about their culture. It's not about Christmas or 4th of July or whatever. Just a regular film. They just mention these things in passing, right? Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Oh, we need to get turkey for Thanksgiving.
They don't really show what it looks like or what it feels like to be a Thanksgiving day.
Yeah, they show it in the American, but like us now, we have a very different Christmas culture, right? Rushing to buy rice, sharing rice for everybody. Those are a different culture, right? We have in Independence Day, every bank holiday or public holiday is just an excuse to gyrate and have fun, right? And each holiday has their own ways we approach it, right? You also have the Muslim holidays where we are jumping. I know that I'm jumping from one household to the other to get rice and get that meat, because it's part of the culture. So this even in the TV series, these cultures they're not infused, right? And it needs to be organic.
Let me cut you short there. When you say this culture, in fact, it's just making me to remember a couple of movies, and I'll be like, wait, why are they doing this thing? This is not even a Nigerian thing. Like, guys, we have people that are outside this country, and they fall back to these movies because they want to learn. We have friends and family who were not born here, and they fall back to these movies and even some of the books just to learn. Oh, I want to know what it feels like in Nigeria, and then you give them what is not even Nigerian. Talking about culture, let's talk about language now. I know some recent release has tried as much as they can to, impute one or two scenes where they speak language and what have you. But do you think we use indigenous languages enough, or more can be done when it comes to Nollywood?
I do believe that we can we can definitely produce more films that are entirely in our indigenous language.
Entirely?
Yes, we can. But I think there are so many more factors to it. It's so much more nuanced. And, it's more, it's not a direct thing. It's not something that's so simple to achieve, right?
Why did you say that?
First of all,
I want to know.
First of all, our official language is English, right? And Pidgin.
True.
But let's just say it's English. We write in English, we read in English, everything is in English. True. I'm talking to you
in English
on this show.
In English.
So it is hard, and we have over 200 tribes in this country.
True.
So this, we can't produce. We are watching Korean films now with their subtitles, right? So I think that there's so much nuance, but I think that it can be improved. I'll speak for my culture. Please, Igbo people should not come for me, I beg. Please, I apologize if I say this, but they're not like.
Don't worry, they won't come for you. They won't come for you.
I love them, and see, if I'm part of it, I always tell them I'm part of the problem, right? So we don't have the amount of Igbo speakers, and not as much as Hausa and Yoruba speakers.
True.
First of all, and then I'm talking about the 3 major languages. Let's go to the other languages. Tiv, Efik. How can I shoot an entire movie in Efik? Are there enough Efik speaking actors for me to do this? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes that is why for example, I'll give Lionheart as an example. The film is mostly English, but there are certain scenes where they speak Igbo.
Yeah. True.
Right? I liked that film. I loved Lionheart, not just because of the story, but because it felt so authentic, right? It looked like Enugu. It felt like Enugu because I've been there and I've lived there. And to be fair, conversations having, it was a mix of environments. They had the work environment, the home environment, and when they were at home, they spoke more Igbo than when they were at work.
Yes.
So it's so, I think it's so nuanced, but I think we can. I believe that we can.
Okay, now we've talked about culture this, culture that, language, the use of scenes, and what have you. How would you describe the use of Africans in Hollywood movie? Like I have questions attached to this question. Oh, why are you doing that?
Ask the question.
Don't worry, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I'm asking you because I actually have my own perception of the whole thing, but you're the authority here, so
I'm not the authority.
You're a screenwriter.
But you're an audience member.
I know.
What you think is actually so much more important. We hold that to our hearts because we're writing it for you.
Okay, so back to my question.
Yeah.
How does the portrayal of Africa in movies, how does it affect Africans home and abroad? Do you think justice is being done there? Let me just ask you the question this way.
Okay.
We are going to know now.
I have to give Hollywood their credit.
Okay.
Right? Because of the, burst of, inclusion and diversity over there. I think that the depiction of Africans has improved.
Yeah,
At
true.
least they are now distinguishing the accents. That one was, this person is from Africa, like we're a monolith or like we're one country, and we all speak the same
language
or have the same accent. So, and then you be watching and the person say, I come from Africa. And okay, I don't sound like
part of Africa?
I don't know anyone who sounds like this. Or they say, they have South African accents, but they are from Nigeria. Like, how is that working? Make it make sense. Do you get? But now I think that they have become more intentional.
Okay.
They listen to us, they listen to our complaints and our plea that they should please change their hand, right? So I think it has improved. And you've seen, there's this meme going around about about when I don't know if it's whatever, maybe more international international broadcast companies when they come to do documentaries in Africa. There's a popular meme that has been going around. The guy's like, the guy's like, my name is so I have 54 children. Every day I go to the farm. Every day I go to the farm.
So he has to go to the farm every day. Why?
He just said, I'm poor. I have nothing but my sperm. And then the translation was just so weird. Everyone, like, if you just go to the comments beneath that video, everybody was like, oh my God, so true. Oh my God, so accurate, so accurate, so accurate. Even we are tired of it. Yeah. We're making fun of it, right? And we've become even more aware. Thanks once again to the social media and internet for making us aware. But, they perpetrate some dangerous stereotypes.
True.
Very dangerous and harmful stereotypes. Just like, the people of color in America protested against their portrayals in their films. You know, I'm a black person. Must I be a single mother and a thug or a thug? Why are those my options, right?
Or a house help.
Yeah, exactly.
A house help.
Yeah,
the man is the bartender and the lady is the cook.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
does it have to be that way?
Why am I always assisting? Why is the black person always assisting the white man?
And if I must be the best, the top character, it's like I'm a best friend to the white guy. Exactly. Why does it have to be that way?
Exactly. Why am I not the love interest, right? But like the story has changed over the past 5 years, I think.
Talking about change of story, we have some African stories that have been told recently, I think from 2018, 2020, and now. And then, to me, I feel this is not how the story is. There are some changes and what have you. For instance, Woman King and what am I doing with the name again?
Which one?
No. Oh, God. Whatever it is, Sha. So, stories like that, would you say that they were properly told?
Like Woman King?
Yeah, Woman King.
I think she did the best to her ability.
Not just the character. I'm talking about the story in entirety.
I'm talking about everything too. I think even recruiting South African actors, you know, you can see that a lot of work and research went into that Woman King.
Into place.
Yes, and you know, the story just felt. I mean, you can see the work they put in, and I think they did their best. I think they did very well in portraying, you know, the story. A lot of these are stories, are not public. It's not something that we learn in schools, right? So, I'm just glad that the stories are being told, and at least it was told by a person of color, a black person. Even if it's not an African, I don't even think it matters. As far as the portrayal is positive and accurate, I think it works.
Okay. You know, in everything we do in Nigeria, we always find a way to drag in government. We always say government this, government that, and what have you. Over the years, government has intervened by giving loans, trying to support the industry and what have you. So what would you say their intervention has really helped, has taken Nollywood a long way? Would you say they are doing enough? Are there more things you think the Nigerian government can do to support Nollywood, to help build this industry? Because I'm not going to lie, it feels like the one big right thing we are doing as a country, our entertainment industry, not just the movie aspect, the music aspect, and what have you. So what do you think? Do you think they should do more? Are they doing enough?
I think the solution is multi-tiered, meaning that yes, the government can. I think the government can do more.
Okay.
You know, there are tax incentives, subsidies, and things that the government can assist with, assist the entertainment, especially Nollywood. I do think that their involvement and assistance to, you know, boost the industry has improved over the years. Actually, so there is much more to be done. Yes, and I also think like, you know, us to like, in coalition with the government, like creating, you know, some, you know, standardization, or, you know, across all the departments, you know, and, you know, even going as far as creating insurance policies. You see that some actors, they've been working for such a long time, they fall sick.
And nothing happens to them.
Yeah, we have to contribute. They have to crowdfund for their medical expenses. It's not right.
Talking about expenses, talking about lifestyle, talking about when people fall sick in the industry, and then you go to social media and you see people saying, help this so and nothing is too small. Let's talk about the pay. Let's talk about the cash, because even though I know you people do this thing, like you tell us it's passion, that's what I want to do. We know the story behind it. It's the moolah, the cash behind it. Okay, so is it that the money, is it that there's no money in this industry? Because there's this news that has been flying around, you know, some actors come and complain they're not getting enough money. Like, I drive to set and somebody that just started acting yesterday is coming with a big car and I'm like, wait, what have I been doing in this industry? And then some have even gone to the extent of accusing the ladies that you girls should come out and tell us what you do. What are you doing to get this money? What are you doing to get these endorsements? Because we are in the same industry and it's almost seems like exactly that's the word, God so for us. And it almost seems like I'm not doing anything because, for instance, Anita was saying there's this person, she didn't call the name, Anita Joseph. Like, you just started a month ago, and you're telling me that you've built a house in Lekki.
Now, wow.
And like, what's happening? You people should tell us what is happening. Like, can you just...
Small person, big God.
Throw more light on that, because I'm curious. I'm curious. What exactly do you think the problem is? Is it that some producers pay more, some pay less, some don't even pay well? What's the problem?
In general, I mean, in the beginning of when I started my career, I would have said I'm here for the passion. But I still need to eat.
Definitely.
Yeah. So passion can pay you.
True.
Yeah? You need money to sustain. In fact, a lot of the super creative people, you know, you hear things like, this director, this screenwriter, you know, took himself, you know, on a retreat for a month in a cabin just so he can write so and so. I cannot do that. It means that I will wither away in that cabin.
You will not wither away.
First of all, I have responsibilities. I have financial and other responsibilities. I can't do that, right? So I think, I think it goes back to the previous question about the government. You asked me. Now, that is not just the government. It's a multi-tiered solution.
Yeah, you said
even us ourselves. Now, in I think it was in 2008, sometime in the Writers Guild of America, they held a strike. They started a strike because they were not being paid well. How can a production worth hundreds of millions will pay me mere thousands? Why?
Wow.
Why is something so worth so much? I'm getting so little out of it, and without your script, they cannot shoot a film.
Sure.
So the process doesn't end with you. It starts with you. It just only starts with you. The script is only the beginning of the filmmaking process. But it's the most important one. Can you shoot without a script? I mean, you can shoot without a script, but how will it look? You will not like it now. There are people who shoot without scripts. I won't mention names, but who shoot
I know those kind of stories. I know those kind of stories. I can relate.
Let's just change something.
Let's just do this thing.
Let's add it here.
And it's almost like somebody else's story. They just come in, change one or two things.
Yes.
And we self don't do film be that.
Yes, now that's true. I can't speak for actors. I'm not an actor. I'm going to speak as a writer and producer. I mean, that's why you see a lot of actors becoming producers now. You see one person produced by, written by, directed by
the same person.
Production managed by.
How is that person doing that magic?
Written by, main cast, me. Why is it like that? Why is it like that?
They're trying to manage the money.
It's not just manage the money. It's not just about the cost. It's about the benefits and the rewards, right? There's no structure of royalties, like, you know, people the actors from Friends. They said they don't have to work again in their lives. Why? How? There's a structure, right? Every industry has a structure, right? Think about it.
True.
The person now, Anita Joseph complained, okay, what are you doing? Because they know they pay.
Yeah.
Right? They know what I mean. I mean, the pay, it depends, right? Until you are, even everywhere, until you are at a certain level. Like, you know, they have A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, blah, blah, blah. So until you're at a certain level as an actor, I'll say as an actor, you will not be earning enough money to sustain yourself.
Now, I think that's where their pain comes in.
Exactly.
Because Kole Remy was saying that he once went on a set with his small car.
Yeah.
And this young guy in the industry is coming with a G-Wagon. Like, how is that possible? Guy, I've been in this industry for years. So I think I understand where that the whole talk and what have you is coming from.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We are not where we used to be. And truth be told, we still have one or two things to do. We are
literally now. So you know how you have the baby stage when the baby is born, and then the baby starts teething and stuff, and the baby starts walking or starts crawling first. We are about to walk.
Wow, we have a long way.
We have a long way,
guys. We have a long way. So people have complained that there is little improvement. From research, there is little improvement and no craft at all. And if you ask me, I'll say the craft they are complaining about now is how you tell our story, how you tell the Nigerian story, how you tell people this is our culture, this is how we do this thing in Nigeria. People say recently, as at the time of this research, the complaint was, there are other positive things we do in Nigeria. Why are you only talking about the negative aspect? I mean, we are naturally endowed with good culture and traditions. Why do you only have to bring the part where the chief priest is doing something bad and is calling it on the gods, the ritualists and what have you? We also have some of these traditions that are highly enriched with human interest. Why are you not bringing that out? So I think Nollywood was called out, and I'm not going to lie, I think there was improvement on that part, but there's still complaint of no crafts. What do you think? Do you think that's true? Are there no crafts in the industry?
When you say craft, because I really want to understand, when you say craft, do you mean is it in the entirety, telling the story?
In the entirety, the story, the personalities, and what have you. The setting. Okay. I know you've talked about the setting too, where the story is trying to tell us this is Lagos and it's not Lagos, or this is Benin and it's not Benin, and what have you. So I think the complaint is about the entirety of the film.
Okay. I will say this. First, I think it goes back to the kudi and the cash and the cost, right? And so some of the bodies might not be taken from it, but if you have to, as an indie filmmaker, you do everything from start to scratch. It's first, and then someone comes. You just imagine you have a kid. You have a kid now. I don't know if you have a kid. If you have a kid, and maybe they have some, maybe they've stopped, like toddlers now, they're always picky with their food. So you go, or in fact, you are awake at night. When they are sleeping, you are awake at night. So for you to be sleeping, you'll be looking for recipes. Yeah, different kinds of recipes, varied recipes, so that your child will not be hungry. The next day, you wake up in the morning at, let's say, 5 a.m. and you prepare these different kinds, and your child will put on and just spit it all out. It's painful, right? Now, there are two ways you can see it. As a mom, the child didn't like it, and the child is a toddler,
so
right?
He can't really express himself.
Yeah, not just that, and it might not be tasty to him or her, and it's okay. You try again, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's painful. Now, put yourself in a producer's shoes. The film is like their baby. They've put everything to it. They fought with those thugs that are not allowing them to shoot. True. They have quarreled with one actor.
They've left their family to come do this thing.
Yeah, they might not even have left their family. They might have used all of their money, all of their savings. They might have put their house on as collateral. They've done this. They've done all that needs to be done, right? And they put out this film, and you come and say, trash. Or you put that, poop emoji. Poop emoji, like a popular, the popular critique on social media, on Instagram. You poop emoji, poop emoji, poop emoji. Like, I'm speaking from the producer's point of view. It's heartbreaking to see, right? And then I will go to the critic's point of view. He has every right to do that.
But then I know it's painful.
Yeah.
It's not just about being a producer. Even at work, when you do a lot and then you feel like you're not being appreciated or you're not being seen, or why I mean, I do this thing every time and it's just complaint upon complaint. I know, but I feel there's a better way to come back.
Yeah.
It's either you keep quiet, ignore the comments, but pick whatever it is you want to pick and make use of them, rather than come say things and people start using them against you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody cannot be like you or I. Humble brag. Everybody cannot be
Quiet.
Not just that, emotionally intelligent enough to respond to such things, right? And the culture of critiquing a movie, it just came about recently.
Yeah.
Right? The culture of critique has been there in Hollywood for a long time and Bollywood, right? So they are kind of used to it, right? There's a film called Mother with Jennifer Lawrence and Darren Aronofsky as the director.
Yeah.
They were making this film. In the making of the film, Jennifer Lawrence said it in this variety show. I don't know if it's Actors on Actors or something. And she was like, when they were making this film, he already told the crew that people would not like this film. He said it from the beginning, people won't like it. He was ready for the criticism. And I watched the film and I understood why. I loved it. I loved Darren Aronofsky, first of all, and I loved the film. I loved Mother a lot. But he knew that people would have an issue with it. And at the end of the day, he was right. The opinions were clearly divided. Not great, terrible, fantastic. Not great.
Great.
A lot of people were, so it was so divided. And I feel like our producers and creators, they need to understand that. I think the writers and directors are a bit more understanding of that because of the criticism. But even producers, and it's not easy.
It's not actually. It's not.
But I think these comments, these criticisms, yes, one, the critics can better express themselves. I think both sides can better express themselves. And the producer, I know, as painful as it is, there is something to learn, right? Anytime I watch stuff on YouTube, I look at the comments, I look at what people are saying, and seeing, you see, okay, how can I? And I know those creators are looking at the comments, seeing how they can improve. Sometimes it can be painful, but coming back and being better and doing better is so much more rewarding than you hurling insults. On the comment section. Like, don't even do it. It is like our advice, don't do it. You're also giving the critics too much power, right? And to be fair, if your film is not good, it's not good. It doesn't matter how much you spent. This is a product. When we can't see the effort, we cannot see the.
We can only see what you have given us.
Exactly. So we are it's sad that people are pardon my shitting on your work, but there's so much to take from that, and I feel like the critics can
do better
in expressing themselves.
Because we have a thing of just going on social media and saying things anyhow, and I actually don't like that. I'm not supporting them, but some of the critics, I know I've watched a couple of movies I don't like too, and I go and be like, no, this movie was overhyped and what have you. I think this should have been done better, even though I know it's not my story, but I didn't really relate to this. But then you're an audience.
It's made for you. It's made for you, so why can't you critique it? Like you say, oh, like I'm making this dish for you, you taste it. You're like, oh, how is it? Is there enough salt? Even when you're cooking, you ask, oh, is there enough salt?
Is it okay? Does it taste nice?
Yeah, you're not cooking it for yourself. You're not making the film for yourself. If you're making the film for yourself, that means only your opinion matters. But you're making it for an audience, so therefore they have a right to critique it. You can't take it from them.
Let's talk about music now and compare with the movie industry. Like I said, I think the entertainment industry is one of the few things that is really working in our beloved country.
Yes.
Would you say the quality of movies that have been churned out on the streets, in the industry, and where have you, can be compared to the quality of music videos? Like, I don't know what your answer is, but I can't wait because I have a feeling for that.
First of all, it's much cheaper to produce a music video than to produce a film.
Okay.
The shoots are usually done. It depends on how complicated it is. But it doesn't reach 3 days now. So it's easier to shoot a music video. It's cheaper. I don't know if it's easier,
but it's cheaper.
First of all, you don't even need sound. You don't need to record people talking. So you can record anywhere. The people behind the scenes will tell you, right? It is easier to record a music video than to record a film. You need to hear us talking. We need to be clear. The background, we shouldn't have background noise, right? See, we're shooting here. Everything is all the AC is off. It has to be super quiet, right? For us, for our voice to project,
to be clear,
right? And it has to be clear. And we still have to do editing on all of this. You do editing on the video. You do editing on the sound. Don't do that. You already have the sound. You already have the music. All you have to do is shoot the video, right? Please, video makers, don't come for me, but it's easier.
Yeah, so going to come for you.
It is cheaper. If it's going to cost you, for example, everything we've rented, everything you rent for a shoot now, let's say this is not it's probably much more. Let's just say it cost you $1 million to shoot in a day. In a music video, you need what? 1 or 2 days. So that's 2 million. On a normal shoot, you need nothing less than 8 days to shoot.
No matter what you're shooting.
So it is going to cost you what? This is even small. 8 times 1 million. This is just for, let's say, renting equipment. So we're not talking about the cast. Plus the talent now. We're reaching into tens of millions, if not hundreds.
And there's welfare.
Not just even welfare. There's welfare on music video sets. The thing is, it's still cheaper because you don't stay as long on set, right? It's shorter. The time you spend is shorter. That's why it's better.
Okay. I feel you're responding to this statement as a producer, though. That's how I feel.
Yes, I am a producer.
You're so emotional about this.
It's easier now. So they should cut filmmakers from start.
Okay. Let's wrap it up. What do you think can be done better? Which aspect of the industry do you crave? Like, I know there are days you go to super and like, oh God, I wish this can be done. What is that aspect of the industry that you so wish can change and be improved?
First, story. Respect your writers. Respect your writers. Give them the time. Give them the resources that they need to create a story. I think story is thought about last in this industry. The script is thought about first, but the story is last. Meaning that the content of the script is not thought about. Is not being how do I put it now?
Put into consideration.
Yeah, the quality of the story as we talked about before, right? So first, story first. This is how Hollywood built their industry. If you go and watch those films, in fact, it was so uncomplicated. The shots were uncomplicated. No slow motion. No all those things. No gimmicks. Right? They didn't even have body mics. You had to put it inside flour and be talking inside the flour. Right? But I can still watch those films. Right? I
still enjoy them.
Yeah, I have so many black and white films that I still watch till today. I still rewatch them till today. Despite, they don't have the level of the production quality, the level of production, aesthetics that we have now. But their story can still stand the test of time. This is why America keeps remaking old stories. Because it is still there. Everything you need, the basic elements of a story is there. So story first. Then we need a structure. We need a system.
Yeah,
we cannot be working like this.
We need a system.
We
Not
can't
just
be
in the movie industry. We need a working system.
We need a working system.
We need a working system.
So with a working system, a lot of things will fall into place.
True.
All these payments, you not have the question of, I'm driving Toyota Camry 2008. This person has G-Wagon 2022.
Like how?
How come? I will not the same. In fact, this person senior.
Yeah.
I'm this person senior. Yeah, this person has this thing. Why? Why is it like that? You won't have those questions, or at least you have it less. But I cannot say, but a lot of these questions will be answered. I think those are we have other things, okay, but I feel like, first of all, baby steps. There are other things you can improve. As I said, even government having a system for us, right? It's not about banning film, putting censorship tags. That's just the beginning of things, right? But like, for example, I think is in New Orleans in America has some tax incentives for shooting there and stuff like that. So these things like having permits, to shoot on the streets, right?
Yeah,
having to shoot on the street, and then if you have those permits, there also needs to be a system in place, right? have maybe a policeman, a security assigned to you to protect you and stuff like that. And then those thugs who come to disrupt the peace, there needs to be penalties for them. There are no penalties. When there's no system, there's no penalties. Therefore, who can do what they want.
Yeah, true.
So these things are the first things we need to focus on. The other things we have, the basics, we already have it. Good picture, fantastic camera, good sound, all those things, we have it. Then another thing is to be mindful of our reality, our culture. We need to infuse that in us. It all comes back to story. As you can see, everything's coming back to story.
Yeah.
And a system. Once we have that, once we have this, these are the basic building blocks. These are our foundation. Once we have that foundation, everything else will be easier.
Will flow.
Yeah. So whatever we are building on top of it will stand strong, stand steady. And that's it. So
I don't know. I actually enjoyed my time with you. I don't want you to go. She's blushing, guys.
Don't worry.
Okay. So do you have any other thing to say, not just to your fellow producers or screenwriters, but to the audience as a whole? Do you have anything more to say to them?
Be patient. We're getting there. The industry is getting there and we're doing better. And encourage us. I think Nigeria's already encouraging us. See, it's us it's the filmmakers now that need to do their best.
Okay.
And then we also need enabling environments. Our environment is not enabling at all. So just be patient. We will get there, and the support is already there. Look at the music industry. Don't worry.
Before you know it, the movie industry too will be
bam,
there.
bam, bam.
We're almost there, guys.
Don't worry.
We're almost there. We're getting, like, we are known already, if you ask me.
We are.
Okay, so this is State of the Culture. And brought to you by Izesan. Like, we don't play with our indigenous language at all. We don't joke with it. So I don't even need to ask you. From your name, I know you're Igbo. So you have to tell us something in Igbo. Say something to the audience in Igbo.
First of all, I want to apologize to my ancestors and my family.
Oh my God.
Because I am like going to embarrass them.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know. Biko nye anyaka to make this industry better, and Ifabu, State of the Culture with Izesan.
Let me see if I can interpret. I'm not sure what Daluno means. She's laughing at me.
Hope I said it well.
Guys, I can't. I'm not going to kill myself. Okay, thank you so much for taking our time to be here. I really enjoyed my time with you, and I look forward to having more of you in State of the Culture.
For sure.
Guys, that's all we can take for this episode. Old Nollywood versus New Nollywood. I hope you guys learned a lot. It's one thing to critique people, but it's another thing to do it the right way. I know, in as much as we want to correct these people and help them, we need to use our emotional intelligence. Don't come trashing somebody's hard work. It's very painful. Like I can relate. I understand when somebody comes back and tell you, oh, you're silly. I slept, I didn't sleep all night. I didn't do this. I couldn't do this. I missed this. I did that. Just for you to come and tell me this. So guys, please, we are doing a lot already when it comes to encouraging the industry. And like she said, be patient. We're going to get there. These baby steps are making us go more. We're doing more, and I'm sure as time goes on, we're going to be there. And the question won't be, are we there yet? But we are there. Okay, guys, that's all for this episode. Make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe to our channel. I'm begging you people. From me, Nafisat Abdurrahman. Bye.